Don't stick about. A torch will keep you safe. More or less. There's things in the dark, true soul. Things that been touched by the curse. Run, and run fast.
True soul. An honor. Did you bring the lyre? Good. We were told to expect you. Then pluck a tune, and our guide will come scuttling.
I hear them, Your Majesty, calling us, their god and their guide, together.
Someone pinch me, please. I'd really love to wake up from this nightmare.
Greetings, in the Absolute's name. You have been charged with guiding us.
New flesh for you, Queen. But who are they?
Best introduce yourself. Perhaps you'll listen to a true soul.
And you? What are you?
More faithful of the Absolute. They need a guide to the tower, same as us.
Your minds connect, and you hear a whispered voice. The Absolute. Or just the echoes of his fractured mind reverberating in the dark.
A true soul. You have more worshippers every day, Majesty. Yes. Yes. They'll do nicely. We have our Queen's favor. She speaks to us, protects us, graces us with her blessing.
And her magic lamp.
And they are jealous of your gift, Majesty. But you gave it to us, and we always keep it close. No! Our Queen gave it to us. If they wish to walk through the darkness alone, they are welcome to.
Oh, that's so. Maybe this will change your mind.
No more demonstrations. Time is short, we need to go.
Yes, yes. We shall go. Your light leads the way, my queen. Are all ready? Bless us again, Majesty. Shine your light. Protect us. Come, follow, and stay close. Do not leave the light. Do not feed the shadows.
You heard him. Move out!
The lantern gives off a chilly glow, protecting all in its vicinity from the surrounding shadows. You notice a tiny pixie trapped within.
Oh, please! Oh, golly me, oh my! You must release me or I'll die. This lantern only lights the way when I am hurting night and day. I dare not name it, newfound friend. The faintest touch could spell my end.
Finally! Been trapped in that coffin with no one but a mad rider and my own farts for company.
Did me a good turn there, didn't you? What do I owe you? Sure I can, but will I? Yeah, sure, why not? Here, give this bell a shake. Speak the magic words and you'll get what you've earned. Protection from the shadow curse. What more could a dingus want? You're welcome.
Playtime's over, pet. Oh, I love this time of year. The dickheads start popping up wherever you look.
What do you want, Mizora?
Drop the attitude and perk up your ears. You've got a new mission. Absolute's cult has gone and grabbed one of Zariel's assets. A devil. And a powerful one at that. They're locked up in the cult's fortress, Moonrise Towers. And you're getting him out. I'd start caring. And quick, sunshine. Clause Z, Section 13. Should promised soul refuse obeyance or neglect duty, the pact holder shall cast the promised into Avernus as a lemure. I'll make it simple. Will fails or refuses, and he turns to a thick blob of stink flesh and sinks to Avernus. Now, be a good boy and play fetch, pup, or you'll spend an eternity sizzling in the hells.
Mizora's words may be flippant, but they are tinged with desperation. She cannot afford for Wyll to fail this mission. This may be your best chance to negotiate Wyll out of his pact.
Oh, and what condition is that?
Your mind links with Wyll's, drawn in by his increasing panic.
What are you doing?
Wyll relaxes, and your connection fades.
Interesting. Now, why should I go letting my favorite pet off his leash? Incredible. You actually think you hold the winning hand? Fine. I'll play your game. But I amend the pact once the mission's done, not before. Clause F, Section 9. Soulbinder shall bestow reward or favor only upon soul bearer's fulfillment of related obligation. Now, to Moonrise, pet. And do mind the shadows. They've been especially hungry.
This dark land must be filled with the broken, the beaten, the desperate. The perfect preying ground for a devil who offers a way out for those who sign on the dotted line. I hope we end up seeing our friend Raphael down here somewhere. Help me find him, and you'll find out. When I was taken to his house, I was caught off guard. But now I know what to ask for. Perfect! I knew you would understand.
This place. These shadows. I don't seem to be affected. Not as badly, anyway. Perhaps I shouldn't put it to the test, but compared to everyone else, I feel fine. Better than fine. Do you know what this means? I must be blessed. Lady Shah is protecting me where others are left to face her wrath. She loves me. She must do. Lady Shah wouldn't bless me like this for no reason. There must be something she wants of me. The Shadowfell, her domain, has power here. Whatever the Dark Lady needs of me, I'll wager the answer lies wherever her power is strongest. I need to find that place. See what awaits me.
God damn it! Why did it have to be Mizora? Why did it have to be Zariel? We're supposed to risk our necks to get one of her assets? What if it's a runaway like me? Or something far worse? I never forget what Wyll did. Not ever. I'm here because of him. And I'd do just about anything to help him. But devils never lose. You know that, right? Sure, they'll give you a bit of tat here and there, but the house always wins.
The more bullshit she pours, the more of it I'm forced to swallow. Mizora set me on fiends inside and outside the Hells. She's never ordered a rescue.
Gods. She makes a mockery of everything the blade stands for. Such an asshole.
Thank you for sticking your neck out for me. I mean it, but I'm not going to celebrate till I'm actually free. Can already feel her scheming. She won't let me go without a fuss. Trust me on this. Not a one. All that matters is that we free it. Fail, and I'm made a mindless blob clawing at demons on the front lines of the Blood War. I always knew what my future held, and I know I chose right. I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you've taken a lithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. I'm more than a bit wary, I admit. Still, I am the frontier's avowed protector. New dangers require new skills to vanquish them. If the tadpole must be my curse, then let the powers it grants me be the Sword Coast's blessing. I will consume what I must to make it so.
We must press forward. Let's deal with Ketherick, then find Voss in Baldur's Gate. I have a confession. I was too hasty to judge you. I thought you witless.
gutless, unimpressively bland. I don't pay compliments. I only say what is true. You've proven me wrong at every turn. You are efficient, dominant, courageous. I swear, you would tear the horns off one dragon for plunging into another. You've gained my respect, and more still, my yearning. When I come near, your odor alone is enough to make my neck sweat and my hair stand on end. If you must know, Verkith requires everything of her children. I can't count how many bruises I've inflicted, can't measure how much blood I've drawn in the undying Queen's name. I know only blood red and death black. My mind is silver, and my body steel. I am what I must be, say what I must be, to survive every beast I face and every wound I bear. Enough talk. I will be plain. I want to taste you. Perhaps tonight, perhaps later. But I want it all the same. Do you? Your loss, I fear. One day soon, you will wonder how my lips might have tasted, how my fingers on your skin might have felt, and you will wish you could return to this lost moment.
The voice of the Absolute is strong here, and getting stronger. I don't know how much longer I can resist it. But it's good to see you're making progress. You took an unexpected route here. You did a brave thing, saving those people in the grove. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not your fault the world is wicked. You did the right thing. It just doesn't stop. We are being bombarded by waves of telepathic energy. Wave after wave with hardly a breath between them. I almost dare not rest. Each wave a set of orders to the infected. The order for your transformation has been given many times already. I'm afraid this burden is one I have to carry alone. I just hope my powers last long enough to see this through. In any case, the Absolute knows you carry me with you now. It wants to retrieve me. I am the only one who can resist the Absolute's influence. Hence its fear of me. Its desperation. Unfortunately, that also means it is dedicating more and more resources to my retrieval. The task ahead is monumental. But we're all that stands between victory for the Absolute and freedom for all. This is not just about you and I anymore. It has become far bigger than us. You must infiltrate Moonrise Towers, discover the secrets of the Absolute, and put an end to it. So we can finally be free. Now I must rest. And you must carry on. Do not let my efforts be in vain.
You there! Step forward and keep your hands off your weapons. Who are you? We'll see how charmed you are in a minute. Just keep your hands where I can see them and follow me. Come. Jaheira!
It seems tales of my clemency have been greatly exaggerated. You have not experienced my hatred, stranger. Not yet, at least. This is why we're here, you see. It is a curious creature that hides all manner of secrets. But if there's one thing that we know, it's that it knows its own kind. You should never have come here, true soul. Stand down! Or we'll put you down! I'm not interested in the Absolute's manipulations. Harpers, cut this true soul down!
Stop! What's you doing? She's the one who saved us!
She's the one who protected the Emerald Grove.
Yup. Didn't leave a goblin standing. Not so bad to hang around with either. Saved one of my friends from a druid with a snake. Knows when to be discreet too. I'd pretty much trust her with my life.
A true soul with a mind of her own? How is that possible? What in the hells is that thing? Congratulations. You've earned yourself the benefit of the doubt. Hear me, Harpers. All clear. At ease. I'll not pretend to understand what that artifact is. But I'm old and wise enough to recognize a sliver of hope when it crawls out of the dark. Tell me, why have you come here? You're just in time for happy hour. There's food in the inn over there. Beds too if you require rest. Aloe oil in the cupboard, in case the vines gave you a rash. Settle in. Then come join me for a drink. You may just be the godsend we've been praying for.
I-F. Or is it an E? Is it even a letter? What damn language is this? What are you doing? Well, if you must know, I've been trying to make out the scars on my back. I can't see them, so I've been trying to feel my way about. They may as well be written in Rashimi. This isn't your problem, you know. Fine.
The runes are carved in deep, brutal strokes, but the jagged letters mean nothing to you. Whatever language this is, you don't recognize it.
And? What does it say? Ha ha! Tell me what it says. What in the hells? What did he do to me? No, let's keep this between ourselves. At least until we know what it means. 2 centuries carrying this, and I can finally see it. None at all. It doesn't look like a poem. It doesn't look like anything I recognize. Whatever he's left carved in my flesh, it's a mystery to me. Thank you, by the way. This is... well, it's something. Will we? How... sweet.
Your thoughts are back on the twisted Scaleritas and his honeyed words of violence.
You called for me, milady? Shh, quiet, dear depraved one. We wouldn't want to wake the others. They would be so jealous. I come here, for I wish to bring you another powerful tithe. But I cannot grant you this prize quite yet. You must do something divinely unspeakable first. You have been a prodigal young master, but you have not been disinherited yet. You can rule with such ease if you follow your call. You will receive a royal prize for killing this pretty girl. Isabel, the cleric with the sweetest face of the moon. She is too precious to live. Oh, Master, consider the tiny mishap with the bard you had the last time we met. Your unconscious clever mind hungers for extreme violence. Who knows who you might kill next if you do not satisfy your urge. Be true to yourself, my lady.
Oh my god, soldier. That's Jaheira. The Jaheira. Don't you know the whole story? Years ago, over a century, Jaheira was part of a group that saved Baldur's Gate from Saravok, a Baal sport trying to plunge the city into war. My mum used to tell us stories about them. The legends who protected the city from evil. She said Jaheira was a powerful druid. Adamant. Tough. I've told myself those stories 1,000 times since. I never thought I'd meet Jaheira. She's a hero, and I was always... some outer city kid. Can't believe she wants to talk to us about working together. What a day!
Aha! Thought I sensed an infernal. What are you doing here?
Same thing as you, I reckon. Trying to stay out of the shadows. Hold on. I know you. The weaponsmith, right? Drafted into the Blood War when your city was swallowed by Avernus. Not too different from my own story. Well done making it out alive.
Same to you. Though unless my senses deceive me, you brought a bit of the hells back with you. Infernal engine?
Who needs a heart when you've got one of these to keep you warm? Thank you, Zariel.
Forget warm. You're burning up. Might be burning out a piston ring. Or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
Please do. I've been dying to find an infernal mechanic.
Now that's hot. Too hot. I think I could sort you out. But I need some infernal iron and a lot of luck. As a matter of fact, I think I might. I've sensed some in the area. It has a pull to it. Absolutely magnetic. Once you know what you're looking for, I can show you where I'd look.
Fuck yes, we will.
Sure. Meantime, if you need to stock up, everything I have is available.
Don't wander far. We need to talk.
I know you keep.
Please. Be welcome. Have a drink. To your very good health.
You perceive a faint hint of cloth grass, a herb that is said to elicit the truth. Jaheira smiles at you knowingly.
It doesn't spoil the taste, if that's what you're wondering. Indulge me. You will be refreshed, and I will be reassured. Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you, though. People tend to lose more than just flavor when illithids get their hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you, isn't it? And you're certain you will continue to resist? Good. I will take your word for it. And hold you to it, too. I have every reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate. The cult of the Absolute is spreading through the city. Quietly, quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago. Believe me, he was well and truly dead. I locked his corpse in the Thorn Mausoleum myself. He was a Sharan once. Took to building an army of dark justiciars beneath this very village. Alongside the local druids, we made it our business to see him deposed, dead and buried. But he's returned. Not only does General Ketheric Thorn live again, it seems he is no longer mortal. He has become, in fact, invincible. We met him on the road here, commanding an army of the Absolute, intent on destroying Baldur's Gate. I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter. He healed right in front of me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless. But experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope. Not immediately. Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate his forces at Moonrise Towers, posing as a true soul. Find out what it is that makes him invincible, so we can strip him of his advantage. Once Ketherick is without his shield, the sword, together we assault his tower and put a final end to this blight. Without a cure to your infection, that lifetime might become rather limited. I promise I will do everything I can to make sure you survive this. Any cure starts with understanding the disease. Whatever magic Ketherick's using to control these tadpoles, it must be at Moonrise. Until then, we keep drinking wine when we meet. Before you go, there's somebody else you should meet. You're not our only secret weapon. Isabel, a faithful cleric of Selûne, and a light in the darkness. She cast the moon shield around the inn. It's the only reason we're still alive. She's upstairs in her chambers. Tell her I sent you, and she'll see you through the shadows safely. I'm sure it's very fine. But lanterns have a tricky habit of going out when you need them. Let's not spurn what few gifts the gods choose to give us, hmm?
Your move, Maul.
You trapped me? I didn't even want to take this one.
Kalimshan rules, dear. The first piece touched is the first piece moved.
That's garbage! No matter where the night goes, I'm gonna lose it!
Then make the sacrifice useful. Guard your Mistra, or come for my Cyric.
Look who made it! For once, I saved your butt out there, didn't I? We're square now, Chief. Say, do you play lance ball by any chance? It's my first time playing.
The keen gleam in Maul's eyes reveals the lie. She knows the game well, and she wants to win.
Always laid a fine trap for you, Maul. It looks to me like his Cyric could be dethroned.
How's that for Kalimshan rules?
Brava! Lovely work. I see I was right to make you the offer I did. You will consider it, won't you? What a lovely specimen she is. A blushing apple begging to be plucked. She cheated, of course, but that's half her charm. Hell is wherever I take it. I just call it hope, remember? But don't you worry about Maul. It goes without saying she still has the unconditional freedom to choose the only option she has left. Now, let's talk about you. I sense there's something you want to ask me.
I do. I have a proposal for you.
A proposal? If you're hoping to taste my blood, little vampling, think again. It burns hotter than wyvern whiskey.
This is serious business. Devil. Well, a long time ago, someone carved infernal runes into my back. They're a fragment of a contract. I'd like to know what the full contract says.
Oh, such impatience. It's something very important to your master, but is it a love letter, a warning, or a deed of ownership? I could give you all the gory details, but of course, you'll have to do something for me first. Let me think about it, and get back to you.
You'll get back to me? This is important, Devil. When?
Don't worry, I'm motivated to help you. Scars often tell such wonderful stories. I think yours might be truly exquisite. I'll see you soon.
Hello, my dear. It's not a plan yet. More a feeling. Just an itch at the back of my mind. But I know I'm missing something. Whatever Cazador did to me, it was more than his usual sadism. It had purpose. Once I know what that purpose was, maybe a plan will present itself. But for now, I just need to scratch this itch.
Nice strategy back there. If we put our heads together, I bet you and me can make a tidy stack of coin in Baldur's Gate. But Raphael's offered me a partnership already, and it seems like a sweeter deal than throwing my lot in with you. You aren't joking. I kind of believe him more now than I did a minute ago. Poison? Sure. You must love the taste of it. He seems to know you pretty well. Looked like he was doing a pretty good job. If I had to deal with gods and worms in my head, I'd make a deal with anyone. Look, you saved us. Not knocking that. But after you left, Zevlor lost his nerve. Gave up the fight. I won't. Now there's no grove, no coin, no one taking us to the city. I'm not letting my crew get eaten by shadows. Maybe I'll make a deal, maybe I won't. But it'll be my choice, not the devil's, and not yours.
I didn't realize I had an audience. The true soul who's going to save us all. I'm Isabel. Pleased to meet you.
The urge deep within tingles. This is the one the butler commanded you to kill. You choke down the obscene thoughts racking your body with a shiver.
We've been waiting, hoping against hope, for someone like you. Free from the Absolute's influence, yet able to walk among cultists. It's almost too good to be true. But I'd be a poor cleric indeed not to avail of a blessing when I see one. Let me guess. Jaheira sent you to beg a protection spell off her favorite cleric.
The blessing falls uneasily over your tainted body. You can't help but dream. To kill her would destroy all of Last Light. You yearn for it so deeply.
Perfect. It'll make you immune to the lesser effects of the Shadow Curse, which will get you closer to the towers. But there are places it won't help. Places where the curse is darker, stronger. The cultists are able to traverse even the deepest shadows, though. I don't know how. The Harpers are trying to figure it out. Ketheric is a frightening man, but you have something he doesn't. Allies worth having. While you're busy in the towers, I'll be sure to... Wait. Do you hear that? Something's wrong.
Hello, Isabel.
Marcus, is that you? What's happened to you?
I've been blessed. You can be too. Come with me, and you can hear all about it from Ketheric himself.
He's a flaming fist. Or was. Came with the others when we created this haven.
And I thank you for your hospitality. True soul, my instructions are clear. Take the girl to Ketheric, alive.
A haunting face swims into your mind's eye, its instructions vivid in your mind. Nothing is more important than bringing the girl alive.
What's going on? If you have something to say, say it.
Pathetic. The Absolute sees all. Your treachery will be punished.
The Absolute. Of course. You can't believe them, Marcus. Ketheric will never give you whatever it is you've been promised.
He already has. Time to go, Isabel.
With Isabel dead, the whole sanctuary will be flooded with blood. A far finer future than her taken alive.
Isabel, are you all right?
I'm fine.
Marcus has been with us since the start. They've been tracking us this whole time. And that was no random attack. You were the target, Isabel. They know how important you are. But they don't know about you. Ketheric will strike again. We need you to strike first. Discover the source of his invulnerability.
Make him mortal so we can make him bleed. Good luck.
We're in more danger than I knew. If something happens to me, everyone in this inn is dead. Like that. Let's hope your cunning is as strong as your optimism. You're the key to all of this. No mercy. For Ketheric will have none on you. End this.
It's quite thrilling to fight off such grim creatures as this region throws at us. Especially being at your side. I once read a book that explained in some detail the effect a brush with danger has on one's desire for other forms of stimulation. Have you ever read anything on that subject? I believe you. You never look so beautiful as at the end of a stirring battle. Your cheeks flushed, gaze bright, muscles glistening. Perhaps it's just the thrill of our near undead experience talking. Standing at your side through such darkness and disrepair, it only makes me want you more. Unfortunately, this is neither the time nor the place to indulge such feelings, so we must be patient and push all such thoughts aside. For now. Was there anything else you wish to discuss?
On with you. Unless you want to come back to a gaggle of shadow-cursed harpers. And yet, you hesitate.
She doesn't believe you will do it. You can see she wants to believe there is mercy in all, even in the worst.
You aren't the first to threaten me. But I know the eyes of a killer when I see them. You mean me no harm, do you? An experienced cleric can tell such things.
The urge within does not want to talk. The restless urge starts to scream. As suddenly as it started, you have tamed the urge. It slumbers again.
There we are. The real you. Your affliction, is it? Doesn't rule you, does it? Let things begin again, as long as you keep the peace in Last Light. Go on, then. Right place, right time. When a cleric of Selûne stumbles into a Sharan shadow, she's bound to set it to rights, at any cost. It belongs to the goddess Shar. According to the Harpers, it fell here when they defeated Ketheric, the one who tried to have me kidnapped. I suppose they didn't defeat him quite hard enough. I could say the same. But perhaps we should save the trivia till we're on the other side of this thing. Promise not to die, and we'll celebrate with our life stories. Moon and shadow, light and dark, divine sisters ever at war. And this place has become one more battlefield. Sometimes life forces us to choose sides. Luckily, sometimes the choice is obvious.
Do you trust Jaheira?
Traitors among us. A child taken. And still I can only feel relief. If they had taken Isabel too, You know me already. But you'll have the honor of making up for my blunder here. I trust that you will. Then speak. Ugh, some crusty balladmonger, I expect. They have me slaying gods or laying with them, depending on the bard. There are as many versions of a tale as there are people to tell it. Let that satisfy you. And anyway, the heroics of old have done seemingly... We fight, we die, and we just hope that when our time comes, there is someone else to take our place. That remains to be seen. Criterion number 1, make Catterick bleed. Criterion 2, survive that thing in your skull.
The Shadow Curse is upon us. As foul as I remember it. Perhaps even worse. But with the Oak Father's blessing, we may soon see it banished from these lands. This land is more than just soil and rock, root and leaf. It is a living being, in the form of a young fey boy, with the forest itself in his eyes. His name is Thaniel. I've met him in my meditations, but since the curse was unleashed, I have not felt his presence. He is its prisoner, I fear. And as long as he remains so, his domain will lie in darkness. But if we can find him, we can break the curse. If you learn anything of the Shadowfell, or of a boy with the forest in his eyes, find me at once. I can't be exact, unfortunately. Time and the Shadow Curse won't have been kind to any traces that would have been left behind. A living witness is unlikely, I'll admit. But perhaps there'll be an unliving witness, or some lingering echo of what we seek. Don't worry. If you find something, you will know it. It's not easy, seeing the ravages of the Shadow Curse. But your camp is a most welcome solace. You've shared your fire with me, your company. A small pocket of light against the darkness. But one I couldn't do without. Thank you. I can think of a thing or two. But in truth, it is for the best that the curse consumes my thoughts for now. This is the best chance I've had in a century. I cannot squander it. But if I succeed, if I break the curse, then perhaps there will be time for myself again. And for others.
Your stomach churns around and around. The bile within is unsettled. Each moment brings a new surge. Your companions sleep like blissful lumps of meat.
He thinks he might end the world. But you and I could do far worse. You could do so much better, milady. I am here to watch your moment of triumph, my loathly master. Your clever mind is penning tragedy as we speak. Your repressed urge yearns to kill. And kill you will. Tonight, the moment you close your eyes, your favorite person will be brutalized. We all kill what we love most. In time. He would forget his god for you, but you won't for him. Of that I know. You are wrong to consider another your equal. It is my duty to ensure you are making the right decisions, Master. There was much disappointment at your reluctance to kill the little moon maiden. You could kill this one deliberately. I'm sure it will be considered a great show of goodwill. The tithe could still be yours. I do not doubt you will act with a decorum befitting one of your rank. Good night, sweet lady.
Your companion rests blissfully, without a fear in the world. As your hand approaches his body, it wavers. It longs to close around his throat.
A pleasant dream gives way to an even more pleasant reality. Wait. I'm not sure I like the look in your eyes. What's wrong? You're quite sure it wasn't a dream? Cheese partaken at a late hour can wreak havoc on the unconscious. Go on. Tell me about it.
As you tell your story, fatigue fills your body. Your head swims with the worst headache you've known.
I see? Sweet that you care enough to murder me. Mind if you don't? We're in this together, theoretically. You should have confided in me sooner. What is it? A curse? Compulsion? Enthrallment? Whatever it is, we're gonna free you of it.
Suddenly you become drowsy. Your vision blurs and floods with yellow bile, and you faint in a dizzy blur. You are not yourself. All control is gone.
Easy there. Your mind is your own, as are your limbs. Don't do anything rash. Steady. You can rein this in. Nobody's getting hurt. Gratitude can wait. You're not out of the woods yet. Stay focused.
The night passes sick and sweating, but bloodlessly. You once again inhabit your own mind.
Welcome back to the land of the lucid, where explanations are owed, if you don't mind. This is surmountable, I'm sure. I'll protect you until you prevail.
chin up. We'll best this. Well, whatever it is. At least there's no shortage of enemies out there for you to kill. A veritable feast for the violent at heart.
Our hero thought but of treasure ahead, did not consider the peace of the dead. Through the dark she went creeping, and awoke what was sleeping. A new grave they dug, which she herself fed. Until it was perfect. I've grown quite fond of you, you know, in my way. I thought it only fair to warn you about the dangers ahead. Don't be absurd. It would be pointless of me to try to bar you from entering. But I can set the scene, as it were. Prepare you for your role. I had an inkling that was one of your main motivators. Delighted to see it confirmed. You're welcome to give it your best shot, of course. It's just that, well, the man has proven to be more or less resilient to death, which is not the only obstacle you're likely to face. There is a stage down in the dark upon which a great drama has suspended itself in time. Its actors dwell there still, mired in the languor of their long, tired scenes. If you, however, through the dark, go creeping and awake what is sleeping, chances are many more graves than yours alone will soon be fed. Very well. There is a creature that lurks in silence and shadow. A creature who, like me, is very much of the infernal persuasion. Should it make its way out through the very doors you are about to brazenly swing open, you'll have unleashed a pestilence upon this realm. In truth, it is carnage incarnate. So if you meet the devil of which I speak, kill it. Consider no other course of action. This creature and I go back a long way. I admit it would be in my best interest as well should it remain trapped in the dark. Or misplace its head, perhaps. I should not relish its reacquaintance. Let's leave it at that. Listen here, Pipsqueak. Do not underestimate this opponent. At best, you will have the blink of an eye to strike. Strike first, strike true, defy the odds, for they are distinctly in its favor. That much I owe the bastard to concede. After all, if there is one rule I hold dear, it's that one must always give the devil his due.
Need something? You did? God damn it! I wanted to be there. I wanted to make a deal. All right. So, what did the old devil have to say? Well, I do like killing. Perhaps if we help him, I can still salvage something from this. He would owe us after all. Yes. Yes, this might work. Now we just need to get on his good side. If we do as he asks, he'll be in our debt. And if he's in our debt, He can tell me everything there is to know about my scars. Cazador sired 7 spawn. Me and my 6 brothers and sisters. He always insisted we were a family, even when he was carving scars into our flesh. I was one of his first. Some of the others came years later. He was a monster to us all, but did take special pleasure in my pain. He said my screams sounded sweetest. And now that I'm gone, I don't know. I pity the other 6.
Finally, we can talk face to face. Not just any true soul would have succeeded in following my path through this place. You should be pleased. You are a true soul. There is no excuse for you to not recognize your betters. But never mind. Your potential may outweigh your ignorance. I am Balthazar, Chief Advisor to General Thorn, and entrusted with a mission of utmost importance. Do you know what is at stake here?
You remember an ancient scroll rescued from an Amcathran monastery. It spoke of Balthazar, the monastic order's leader. Specifically, it recorded his death.
He didn't seem very legendary when I took his name. Naught but a pile of bones. Impressive tomb, though. But enough idle chatter. Keep to the matter at hand. You do know what's at stake here, yes? I do not cower. I plan. I command. I create. General Thorn trusts me. He knows I will deliver. He knows I will stand by him long after all others wilt and fall. You and all the rest have only one body with which to serve. I have as many as I care to make. General Thorn to you. But yes, recovering the relic is the crux of it. He commands, and I, his humble servant, fulfill that command. While you, an infinitely more humble servant, fulfill my command. I will put you to work as a scout.
This necromancer has Kethric's trust. Helping him could be just what you need to gain access to the man himself.
Fine, if it'll spare me your bleating. The relic lends the general his strength, his invulnerability. It must be recovered before his enemies attempt to exploit it. I do not need you or your help, but you are here in spite of that, so I may as well make use of you. The relic is close, but the way is barred and Shah's dead are uncooperative. Clear the path for me by blade, cunning, or whatever it takes. I will remain here until you have succeeded or fallen.
I'd trust this gas bag about as far as I can throw him, which isn't far. But perhaps better to play along for now.
assign Flesh to aid you on your way. Ring this bell, and he will come. My brother is no intellectual powerhouse, but he is strong, loyal, and punctual. Should a fight turn against you, remember the bell. In part, yes. My poor unborn twin. Mother always resented me for it, said I strangled him in the womb. If you can believe such tripe. Besides, once I developed my powers, I fetched him from the graveyard and brought him back. Gave him a new, better body. Alas, Mother was not pleased. We're still close. She's in a jar on the shelf. Over there. Flesh will remain here until called. But don't fear. He has very sharp hearing. I chose his ears myself. Now, get to wood.
Do you know what happens when a devil is struck down on this charming plane of existence? It returns to the hells, to the very point where it last stood before venturing to whichever devil-forsaken plane it died on. In the case of our friend Yrgir, the Orthon you so handily dispatched in the Temple of Shah, he manifested in my House of Hope. He returned to me chastened but intact, his wounds healed, his body restored. He thought I would dismember him, but he has his uses, so instead I am re-educating him.
We delivered the devil. Now I want what I'm owed. We had a deal.
Indeed we did. I discovered all there is to know about those scars of yours. It's a rather grim tale. Even for my tastes.
Even if I wanted to walk away from all of this, I can't. Cazador won't let me.
And why would he want to walk away? This is his destiny. Carved into that ivory skin of yours is one part of an infernal contract between the archdevil Mephistopheles and your former master, Cazador Za. In full, the contract states that Cazador will be granted knowledge of an infernal ritual so vile it has never been performed. The rite of profane ascension. It promises to be a marvelous ceremony, very elaborate, incredibly ancient, and entirely diabolical. If he completes the rite, he will become a new kind of being, the Vampire Ascendant. All the strengths of his vampiric form will be amplified, and alongside them he will enjoy the luxuries of the living. The arousals and appetites of man will return to him, and unlike Astarion, he will have no need of a parasite to protect him from the sun. But the ritual has its price, as all worthwhile things do. Lord Cazador will need to sacrifice a number of souls, including all of his vampiric spawn, if he is to ascend. Imagine how he felt then, when one of those precious spawns simply disappeared into thin air. The only missing ingredient is Astarion. You are the final piece he requires to complete the ritual. Your scars bind you to it. Your soul will set off a very wave of death, bringing Cazador his twisted life. And that, my tragic and toothsome friend, is that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business elsewhere.
Do you think it's so simple? I hate how right you are. I knew he wouldn't leave me alone, even when I was just another wretched toy for him to play with. But if I'm the key to this power he craves, he'll hunt me to the ends of Faerun. I need to take the fight to him, and I need you to help me. Thank you. My favorite traveling companion. Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble, a little reclusive perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if you perform the ritual there. It feels too public. It'd risk exposure. I know. Subtle, isn't it? Mephistopheles is one of the Lords of the Nine Hells. Raphael is not going to let any ire be tracked back to him. Perhaps Raphael even will gain from setting us on this course, who can say? All I know is I need to unravel the secrets around Cazador's ritual. And I can only do that in Baldur's Gate.
This must be the last step. I need to pray. Only by Lady Shah's grace did we even make it this far.
Nothing. Shadowheart continues her prayer in silence.
All right. No need to dash in ahead of me. I'm ready. Some prayers are answered more quickly than others. Let's continue.
Shroud yourself in blackest night. Deliver the Night Mother's mercy upon Trust her your enemies. Secrets to the night. Trust your secrets to the night. Trust your secrets to the night. Your party is gathered. You are ready, or so you hope. As you step into the silent water, A foreign dread travels through you. It curls its way up your leg, squeezing tight.
Lady Shah. I can feel her all around. This is her domain. This is the Shadowfell.
I feel lighter, unburdened, as if the softest push could send me drifting away.
I have felt you coming. The first in a century.
You, who have come to seek the praise of your wicked goddess. You, who have come to drive a dagger through my heart.
Not a dagger, a spear. My Lady Shah's spear. Her fate is mine to seal. Let me handle this.
The fate you seal is your own. To be a Dark Justicia is to turn your heart from everything but loss. You will know no love, no joy, only servitude, until of course your mistress inevitably discards you. And there is much she does not tell you. A terrible blood price that may extend beyond my own death.
You feel Shadowheart bristling. This is important to her. But your bond is strong. You may yet be able to sway her from the path of duty to the path of light. And Nightsong is not blind to your conflict. Behind that raging heart is the restless beat of one who knows too well that her fate hangs in the balance.
Well. Do you know what I am, little assassin? For I know you. A lost child, frightened by wolves in the dark.
What did you say?
Much has been promised to you, hasn't it? But what has been taken from you? What do you know of your own heart? Your own life? I sense more in you than you know.
Whatever you think you know of me won't matter once I become who I'm meant to be. I can't believe I just did that. Lady Shah will disown me. What will happen to me?
Not what will happen. What will you do? Your past is not yet lost. Your future is not yet fixed. Lay a hand on me in friendship, not quite showering. And I will fight the battle that has been waiting for me this last century. Then, oh then, we will have much to discuss. Fair Lady of Silver, hear me. She who guides the Moon Maiden Seluna, mother of the so-called Night Song. The Night Song is no more! Resplendent. You have given me a great gift, little warrior. Don't you find it oh so curious that you would spurn your dark lady? Perhaps you feel a stirring of the truth already. But that will come later. There is a battle yet to be fought. You have done what we feared was impossible. You have released me from a century of sorrow. Your power is great. So too must be your weapon. You must choose what you will wield. And the Moon Maiden will provide. Thus I have said. Thus will it be so. Are you ready? To kill Ketheric Thorn.
We need to leave. Lady Shah won't stand for us to be here, not after what we did. That's what frightens me. She must be angry. Yet, I don't feel it. Or hear it. There's only silence. Let's get out of here, please. Whatever's coming, I don't want to be in the heart of the Shadowfell when it finds me. The Night Song will be headed for Moonrise Towers. We'd better get there and see what she's unleashed against Ketheric Thorn. I thought I was done for. I thought perhaps I might have been dead. This is all like some sort of terrible dream. But it's real, isn't it? I stood before the Night Song. I heard Lady Shah's words. And I failed her. Worse than failed her, I defied her. Just because of what that Asimar said. I tried to leave, but Shah blocked me. Punished me for failing her. I thought I knew the limit of pain that the incurable wound could inflict, but I had no idea. It felt like I was suffering the agony of 1,000 people all at once. My blood was boiling, my hair was on fire. I thought I'd claw my own face off with the pain. But then she released me. Banished me, more like. She said I was an outcast. That all of her children would know me and revile me.
Shadowheart looks distraught, abandoned by her goddess and all former allies. And as for her divine magic, admitting who empowers her now may break her spirit for good.
You're lucky to have such confidence. Me. I think the full price of what I've done has yet to reveal itself. I'm a target to Lady Shah's followers now. Nightsong promised she'd tell me something about myself. I need to speak with her as soon as I can. What she said to me back in the Shadowfell about the wolves, that's no coincidence. She took flight to hunt down Ketheric Thorm. All I can do is help hasten his demise, and hope that answers soon follow. Do you really need to ask? I'm sorry. I have a lot on my mind. The Shadowfell, Nightsong. I can think of little else. Yes, I'm counting on it. I have little else to turn to. The sooner I speak to Nightsong, the sooner I'll know what the future holds for me. Assuming I have a future at all.
Guy. An immortal. But it couldn't possibly be. Never mind. It doesn't matter. What matters is you have him in a corner. Jaheira and every fighting body in this place have gone to Moonrise Towers to face Ketheric down. She's waiting for you there. End this. Now. We're all counting on you.
How fares the search?
Please let this work.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience. Give me just a moment. And I think... There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
That feels... good. I'm still burning hot as hell's hole, but I feel less... changeable. Cheers, mate.
Pleasure. And as for the heat, I haven't got any solutions now, but I'm not giving up. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if we had some kind of enchanted coolant. Let me sleep on it. I just might be able to work something out. Hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. I'll need more infernal iron either way, though, so keep your eyes open. Take care.
Damon's upgrade didn't cool me down, but it did juice me up. I don't think I've ever felt more powerful. Bring it on.
Daniel and me are climbing up a tree.
That name rings a bell. Halsin mentioned Nathaniel, right? Part of his Spirit of the Land mission.
Nathaniel.
The patient is physically well, but psychologically detached, dissociated from himself. Without a reminder of who he is, of what he held dear, his mind will remain lost to the darkness.
Nathaniel, and me do just what we please together. Nathaniel and me are climbing up a tree.
It's true then. He's met Thaniel. There's no other way he'd know that name. This is just what we needed. Well done. We need to wake him and learn what he knows. Change is afoot ever since that winged Asima tore through the skies above us. An assault on Moonrise is brewing. Time is not on our side, I fear. We find Thaniel soon. If he was able to escape the Shadowfell, then it mustn't have managed to consume his spirit. Well, not all of it anyway. We need to unlock whatever's left of him, inside his head. There must be something to trigger him. A word, a memory, an item. We just need to find it. I'm afraid so, yes. Check his person. There might be something on him to help us get started. I don't deserve you, my friend.
The objective of the Scalpel Sisters is to soothe. For the Scalpel indeed is an extension of Shah. See how the patient reacts when I but stroke the right nerve. Hear its comfort, hear the very melody of mercy. Pray, sister, show us the extent of your beneficence. Stop. Stay your hand, for it slaps where it should stroke. We can hardly hear the patient's sighs of solace. Perhaps it is our unexpected audience that makes you quiver. Come, step forward. You are no sister, but that matters none. Every student is welcome. Behold, sisters, the very face of ignorance, one who mistakes tenderness for torture. Go on, acquaint the face of ignorance with the true object of our studies.
Absence.
Absence. No other word captures the heart of Shah so very perfectly. It is the Scalpel-led journey that leads from pain to peace.
Only a beast of a man toys with his victim. Entertaining, if not efficient.
See? What is the light of eyes but the cancer that causes one to witness the laceration of being? If light is the symptom, then darkness is the cure. For in light there is presence, but in darkness there is absence.
In light is presence, in darkness, absence.
You are well on your way, but one white orb disfigures you still. Let us finish the cure. Their incisions are, as yet, still streaked with imprecision. That much I must concede. How to steady their hands, I wonder. I see now. By example, I must edify and quell the light that blinds us. Come, sisters, soothe me.
Daniel and me are climbing up a tree.
He keeps saying Thaniel's name. He must know more. We need to rouse him. Good. Its music might help restore him. Show it to him.
Daniel! He's still trapped there. He needs help.
Calm. Breathe. You've been trapped in the Shadowfell for a century. Take a moment to clear your mind.
A century? You're Halsin. Thaniel said to find you. You must help him, please.
I will, but I need to know where Thaniel is. If I venture into the Shadowfell blind, I will never find him.
I'm not sure I can put it into words. The landscape there shifts and changes. Lavender. Whenever I saw Thaniel, I always smelled lavender.
I can work with that. Rest now. Meet me by the lakeshore. I have what we need to proceed, but I'll need your help. Be ready. This may prove perilous. You're here. Good. Now we can begin. Very well. Once I begin the ritual, a portal to the Shadowfell will open, one that will help me save Thaniel. Whatever happens, I must go alone. No. This opportunity has been 100 years in the making. It has to be me. And only me. But I didn't bring you here to witness an old druid's grandstanding. You have a part to play in this, and I trust you will play it well. With the Oakfather's blessing, I can infiltrate the Shadowfell, but doing so will sap my strength. I'll need your help if I'm to return. I need you to stay here, keep the portal open until I return, and defend it at all costs. Good. Now it's important that only I pass through the portal once it opens. The magic is fragile. Any mistake, and our one chance will be lost forever. It took me years of study, of seeking the Oakfather's favor, to find a way to part the veil. Pray that this works. Oakfather, hear me.
Force open the jaws of darkness. Make passage for your vessel of light. It's ready. I'll return with Thaniel as soon as possible. Stay close to the portal. Buy me what time you can. It's done. I have him. But something's wrong. Dreadfully wrong. No. It can't be. Yes. I'll bring him back to camp. He'll be safest with us. I need to examine him. I need to understand what's wrong. It's almost like something's missing from him. Come see us when you can. And be careful out there. Forces may be rallying against Moonrise. But Ketheric Thorm is most dangerous when cornered. I know from experience. Thaniel is resting. But it's no easy slumber. I discovered what's wrong with him. The shadows rendered him in two when they bore him away to the Shadowfell. Half of his essence remained here, amidst the curse. What stayed behind would have been the strongest part of him. But after all these years left in the darkness, corruption must have taken hold. It's both simple and not. We need to find Thaniel's missing half and make him whole again. Only the missing half may not come willingly. The curse will have sunk its tendrils deep, twisting Thaniel's essence into something else. No matter how it's been twisted by the shadows, it is still part of Thaniel's essence. It will resemble him somehow and may show signs of his power. Look for signs of life in the darkness, wildflowers where everything else is dead. The curse cannot subdue the power Thaniel bears. Not entirely.
In fact, I saw just the sort before, not long after we first came within reach of the Shadow Curse. Fool that I am, I did not grasp their significance at the time. There is a ruin some way outside of Last Light. I caught a glimpse of fresh blooms there, but did not investigate further. I shall mark it upon your map.
This doesn't have to be your burden alone. Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side. If you want me, I'm yours. Against the curse, against the absolute. Anything. Just say the word.
Your ranks are full. You will need to make an opening for me if I'm to follow you.
I'm with you.
Boo! I scared you! I saw it! Nobody beats me at hide and seek.
That's him. Like an echo of Thaniel, remolded by the curse. We need him if we're to put a stop to all of this.
Will you play with me? Not that kind of playing, silly. I want to play a game. It'll be really fun. Let me show you. I don't know anyone called that. Don't ask me again. Now play with me. Spoil sport. I'm not going back. I like it here. I've made a family for myself. I get to play all the time. Yes, I do. You can't make me do anything. I don't want to play with you anymore.
A slippery little bugger, isn't he? He'll be looking for somewhere safe. Somewhere where the shadows are nice and strong.
Why couldn't you just leave me alone? Why can't I just stay here, playing? I had everything I've ever wanted, right here! And you've ruined it. I'm not leaving. You can't make me.
Be gentle. He's much more than a child. But he doesn't truly know that. It shall be done. Oliver, nobody is making you leave. This is your home. But it is dark, empty, lonely. I don't want you to be alone. I want you to be with Thaniel.
Why should I go back to him? He abandoned me.
No, you were stolen from each other. Neither of you are to blame. And I know your pain. I truly do. Thaniel was my friend also. I played with him, grew up while he stayed the same. He made me who I am today. And then he was ripped away from me. Same as for you. But you need not be alone any longer. You need not invent friends. Thaniel is back. He's waiting for you.
Fine. I'll do it. It might be nice to be with him again. Bye. And thank you for playing with me.
It's done, at last. Soon the land will be unshrouded. We should return to Thaniel when we can.
The druid Halsin spoke to me while I was sleeping. He spoke of you. Said that you fought shadow and spite to restore me. 100 years of sickness almost ended. I feel every root that riddles the earth beginning to unfold. But there is one anchor, still holding the shadows in place. The soul that brought it into being, for the land to heal. Ketheric Thorm must die.
Oakfather preserve you. Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Would she have helped the refugees? Defended the Grove? Controlled Korga? At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is. So do I, but one duty at a time. It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the shadow curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know? I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Daniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey. I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected. Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. 350 years young. I've been privileged to watch saplings grow into mighty boughs. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand, but as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place? Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in high forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The grove became my family, with Sylvanus as my teacher. And now I have you. It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable. The same's true of everyone, I find. I'm 350 years old. Of course there have been lovers. Just because I love nature doesn't mean I'm betrothed to it. Though sometimes nature needs reminding. Right now, I bed down alone, I'm afraid. Perhaps once I talk less of curses and parasites, my fortunes will improve. Well, I didn't pick this scar up in battle. I was in wild shape, only I forgot it was the season when bears are particularly social. A she-bear claimed me as her own and did not appreciate being spurned. I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. Who's to say? Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. Anytime. Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shah. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the shadows, became part of the shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning. You are right, but I must not lose focus until everything has been put right. I've wasted too much time already. Years in which nature has suffered. Wherever you need me. I'll be right here in camp. Take care out there.
Unshackled from shadows, she will rise in moonlit glory and carve a path of brightness to the accursed one's second death. So saith the wise Alondo. That beacon of angelic wrath has taken the fight to Ketheric on the rooftop, and the first line of defense are dead. But storming the tower won't be easy, and if we wait too long, Ketheric will gather his strength and retaliate. For now, though, he's on the back foot for the first time since he returned from the grave. This is it. The spearhead moment. You brought us this far. So how shall we proceed? If you're hunting one target among many, the key is to isolate and corner it. My Harpers and I will be the noose that closes in around Ketheric, and as it tightens, you'll go in for the kill. Floric left some of her flaming fist. They'll scout the prisons and the barracks below to ensure we're not taken by surprise. Say the word, and we're off. At the ready, Harpers! In this light, there will be victory. In this light, we will avenge the fallen! The time has come. Ketheric will taste of death at last.
You. What have you done? What have you done to me? You've come this far. You've stripped your enemy of his advantage. Why would you show mercy now? And you will decide what is right? You who have begged, stolen, killed, same as I, to make it to this tower? I think not, true soul. You serve the Absolute. You serve me. Bow, you dog. Bow! The prism. You've had it all this time. You worm. You will bow before me. And if you will not bow, you will break. You.
How good it is to see you again, Ketherick. At last you found a godmaster that suits you, it seems.
Halsin, the thief. You stole Isabel from me, and now you think you'll take my life in the bargain?
You dare to speak her name. After your crimes innumerable, you would evoke her before me!
Enough! This ends here and now. At last.
He will crumble at the power of your touch. Give him all you have. The gods fight at our side!
Enough. My lord beckons me. You must return to your prison, and my daughter must be reclaimed.
Your daughter? Isabel?
You will fall as sure as she. This has only begun.
The General will call that a tactical retreat, I'm sure. But you have him on the run. That thing he summoned was illithid. Follow it below and find him, before he has a chance to subdue the Night Song again. Better they stay here, and hold the tower should Ketherick's army catch wind of our assault. But if you have room for one lone soldier, I would face Ketherick by your side. You have numbers enough already, I think. You'll want a small force, if you are to finish this quickly.
Not fair. Camp is boring.
At your command.
By Grazit's cock, it's about time you came. Go on and gloat. Bow to your pretend crowd. All done? Good. Now, enough sniffing around and get me out of this thing. be damned. You want to free the pup from his pact. And you thought that idiotic display would do it. Oh, bravo. Fine, I'll play your game. But I amend the pact. Clause F, Section 9. Soulbinder shall bestow reward or favor only upon soul bearers' fulfillment of related obligation. Now, open the pod.
Your eyes turn to the control panel next to the pod. It has 2 devices marked with elithid symbols. The controls are open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
Good work. I'd give you a gold star, but I'm fresh out. As for the pact, Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the soul bearer from all obligation within 6 months.
6 months? Are 9 hells so few that you would make our lives a 10th?
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. Not going to happen, but I do like your spunk. Right. I'm out of here. I need a long bath. I'll leave you to your very serious business. But don't you fret. If you survive this place, I'll find you. The pup will be needing me. Count on it. Oh, and ask Wyll how we met. I've loosened his tongue. It's real cracker of a tale. Ta-ta.
You said it was under control. It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes, with cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I have played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prism? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time. And you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketherick. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge. But you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews again, 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 again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketherick, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane.
The lash of Thor!
of Merkel!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard. The Absolute.
Whom preserve us?
You wag your word flap in vain, olderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketherick, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way!
There you are, as predicted. What is it, I wonder, that draws one toward death like a moth to light? You could have run away, absconded with the prism. The one thing that could prevent me from fulfilling my destiny. But the lure of one's destiny is irresistible, isn't it? Perhaps you hope to learn your place in history before you are erased from it. A bright flash of clarity before the snuffing out. The very fact of your being attests to its power. Despite your infection, you resisted the brain here in the heart of its domain. What good is an army of thralls if they do not obey their master? Let us speak plainly. My Lord Merkel gave me the one thing I desired, the one thing no other god could grant me. My daughter's life returned. Her heart beating once more. For that, he asked that I serve as his chosen. Join Orin and Gortash to grow the cult of the Absolute, and then take control of it. He's never had a more devoted follower. I have fought great wars before, in the service of other gods and other powers. But for Merkel, I would condemn all of Faerun to death. You are all that stands between me and my destiny. And you have brought the prism here. I will kill you now. And then I will raise you as my servant. Yes. Join the army of the dead, true soul. Witness Lord Merkel's glory. What a fool you are. You cannot kill me. I am eternal. Merkel, Lord of Bones, I am here. I am ready. I am yours. is no matter, for I am death, and I am not the end. I am the beginning.
Hello, Death. I like your hat.
Impossible. Death cannot take me. I am its master. My lord, hear me. Nothing. I am forsaken. You have no idea what you've done. Isabel.
The villain is dead! The wretch! Together, we have crushed him, brain and body! Now, we pick our way toward our fates, unleashed. You have my sword, my fealty. Do what you must. Then we fly this foul place.
The Chosen of Merkel is dead. Permanently this time.
Ketheric's netherstone. It's in his armor. Take it.
In death, the body is cooling, but energy radiates from the stone.
Remarkable. Truly. Now the picture comes together. The Absolute is neither god nor man. It is the Elder Brain you saw, held here by those three against its will. The crown it wears controls it, and these stones control the crown. Perhaps not a cure, but you've found the source of your infection, and the reason for its abnormality. The crown atop the Elder Brain. Its markings suggest it was forged in Netheril, an ancient empire whose mastery over magic rivaled that of the gods. The crown's Netherese magic must be the true source of the parasite's abilities. This must be what elevates their potential. And it must be the reason nobody could heal you. If the crown can do this to the parasites, I dare not imagine what it is doing to the brain. One of them I know, Lord Enver Gortash, an arms dealer and a slaver, a worshipper of Bane, a god of tyranny. The other is a mystery to me, but the way she spoke, it's most likely she follows Baal, the god of murder. Ketheric was a follower of Merkel, which means the Absolute is a front for the gods of death, and our enemies are the chosen of the Dead Three. Bane, Baal, and Merkel. The tyrant, the assassin, and the necromancer. They are known to pick from their most devout followers a chosen, granting them incredible powers. Each one alone would be a formidable enemy. But working together and controlling an elder brain, I dare not imagine what they might achieve. We prepare for the fight of our lives, and the lives of everyone in Faerun. The army of the Absolute is marching on Baldur's Gate. Within the city, an elder brain brimming with power, ready to turn everyone within its reach into mind flayers. All it needs is an order. An order the Death God's chosen are on the cusp of giving. We must wrest control of the brain from the chosen before that happens. We must take their stones. Our chances of success are slim, but we must not fail. If we fail, everything ends. I will be your shield, but you must be the sword. And when the chance to strike comes, you must take it. For there may only be one chance.
Aelin! Isabel! My love! You were dead. I saw your body. I'm here. And so are you. And my father, he can't hurt us any longer.
I dreamt every night that you'd come back to me. But somehow it was all a nightmare Dawn would undo.
I had no dreams at all. Nothing but darkness. And when I woke, my father said you were dead.
His soul was poisoned by the god of death. His sick devotion ruined him. But for all his sins, he brought you back to me. Are you all right?
I will be. And you?
In this moment, I want for nothing.
Ah, there you are. This is Aelin. Aelin, this is...
Oh, but we have met. This is the soldier that freed me most valiantly from the Shadowfell. They watched my boot crush the very brain of villainy, and fought well against your changed father.
May he rest in peace at last, now that he's dead. I have more to thank you for than I knew. And we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could join you in your camp later? I am. And I'm glad he's dead. But this is precisely what I want to speak to you about later. It'll keep. I promise. Very good. We look forward to it.
Now, you will leave us. We must take succor in one another's bodies and words.
Aelin! We'll see you later.
Gods be damned. With that parasite in his brain, Father could wreak untold havoc in the Absolute's name. Should Baldur's Gate fall to the Absolute, every one of the coast cities will be ripe for the plucking. We're not just fighting for our cure. We're fighting for my father. We're fighting for the Gate. We're fighting for all of Faerun. Yes, but first a question. If your home were under siege, what would you sacrifice to save it? Then you know loyalty, and you know what I did had to be done. I was 17. Father, older Ravengard, had just been named a Grand Duke and was called away to Elturel to help settle a dispute. That's when the cult of the dragon made its move.
The cult of the dragon, a fractured religion. Some believers hold that undead dragons will inherit the world. Others worship the dragon goddess Tiamat and intend to summon her to Faerun.
Not just a boy, a raven guard, schooled in the 4 pillars: courage, insight, strategy, justice. A 10-day after Father left, I heard a whisper as I slept. Duskhawk Hill, the Queen of Chaos awakens. Go alone. I grabbed a rapier and set out. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, yet not a single star was shining. There they were, gathered at the foot of the hill.
Your head tingles. Wyll wants to show you what happened. In the looming shadow of the mount, 5 groups of 5 figures each encircle a lofty totem. Atop each totem, a dragon's head is carved, and a massive orb held in its mouth. The cultists chant, first softly, then crying to the starless sky. There is a crack of thunder, a gust of wind, and a dragon's white head appears in the storm. The first of Tiamat's 5 heads. As the maelstrom howls, Mizora's lips press to your ear. She will destroy Baldur's Gate. Grant me your soul, and I will give you the power to save it, she whispers.
She read the terms while 2 devils stood witness, and I said yes. 1 soul for 1 city. She didn't. She came on order of her mistress, Zariel. Tiamat made a play for power. Zariel had other plans. That was the most Mizora's ever said. All that mattered was that she got her prize. Another pet added to her warlock menagerie. He returned to an unsuspecting city and a wayward son with a smirking devil at his side. I tried to tell him the truth, but my mouth couldn't form the words. I'd led him to the battlefield, but Mizora had swept it clean. After, he said only 1 word. Go. So I did. I had Mizora at my side, and the archdevil Zariel guided our hands that day. I burned with the fires of Avernus and oozed the rot of Dis. The cultists choked on our poisons and burned from our flames. And when we were done, all that remained were 5 grayed orbs atop a pile of ash. My soul was bound, and my lips were sealed. It is the 1 scar I ever bore of it. Mizora replaced it with a sending stone. She uses it to track my location and speak from a distance. I could flee to the spine of the world or the depths of the lower dark and still never shake her. I don't know that it was brave. I just know that it was right. I understand. Orin? I'd never heard tell of, but Gortash I know. Or know of, more precisely. A self-styled strategic advisor to Baldur's Gate's peers. A bit player with dreams of a leading role, the way Father told it. He had no use for Gortash, and even less for his advice. I don't remember much beyond that. But where these Chosen are concerned, I have a suspicion we're about to know more than we'd like. No, never. He did the only thing he could. In his eyes, I invited a devil into our midst. I was a fool at best, a traitor at worst, and Grand Duke Ravengard suffers neither.
And I went and proved him right.
A Grand Duke's duty is to his city, first and foremost. There would only ever be one outcome. Worm's Rock Fortress. All travelers to Baldur's Gate flow through it. It serves as headquarters for the Flaming Fist and their commander, my father. The Absolute's army's on the march. Gods forbid a tadpole Grand Duke throw open the gates for them.
You saw Gortash, didn't you? What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the Absolute. How? I'd never have protected a Bay Knight even a decade ago. I looked after that fucker with my life. I trusted him. He gave me away to Zariel without a second thought. And now he's looking to ruin the entire Sword Coast. He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him. You bet your ass I am. And I won't stop till that fucker is dead. There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me. Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Myrkul, is dead at last. My mate, Most High. Darling Isabel is safe and well. Safe and well, and returned to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One. We are a powerful party indeed. Faerun itself trembles at our touch. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. Pray, ask, and I will tell. A century of it, by now. I loved her from the moment I beheld her sweet face. Her great, wise eyes. Her father Ketheric never did trust me. He did not fancy an immortal for his daughter's paramour. When she died, curse the day, the hour. We each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while. But lo, the brute is dead, and we live! Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness, her glory? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb. Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aelin. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder.
I
can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin is here. And my father... I heard what happened. What he'd become. By killing him. You set him free. You set Aelin free. And me. I mourn the man I knew. He was wonderful. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... and this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. You jest. Yet, he did seem a ghost to me. A shadow of the father I loved. He resurrected me with magic so foul, I nearly retch just thinking of it. I didn't know that then, but I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows, made a shelter there, prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land, my home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them, and myself, no matter what. It's all out in the open now, and with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing, rest. I'm grateful for your help, your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long, but I'm grateful for a safe place to, well, just to be.
You did it. Ketheric Thorm is no more. The Shadow's grip is broken. Soon, the land shall heal. Not as glad as I am. Nature moves at its own pace, and bestows its bounty when it sees fit. Give it time. A reward shall come to you when you need it most.
What do you know about me? You spoke of my past, being chased by wolves. I told no one about that. Almost no one. But I certainly didn't share that with you.
There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget.
I chose to do that. For the mission to protect Shaz.
Secrets. Yes, that is an old song, girl. Your goddess cares more for her precious secrets than she does her devotees.
Get to the point.
When you freed me, you severed a bond between me and that dog, Thorm. A bond of pain. His, inflicted on me. When I laid eyes on you, I sensed a similar bond. You
tethered to 2 others, someplace distant. Let me help you remember.
You feel Shadowheart's mind tug at the edges of your own. You know this sensation. She wants you to see whatever is about to be revealed. Your mind joins with Shadowheart's. Something pulls at you both, bringing you elsewhere.
What? Who was that man?
You already know. Did you not see yourself in him? Do you not recognize your own blood?
My father. That was him.
That is him. He lives still. And your mother, too.
No. It can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family? You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you. But you are a child no longer. You are a woman, one who knows what must be done.
My parents. I need to save them. I don't know.
Your parents both followed the Moon Maiden. I could sense their faith, even in a brief glimpse of the past.
It is a tragedy that the Moon Maiden's right was perverted by Shah. Your future was stolen from you.
Your parents are with your abductors. You will need to return to their lair. But be warned. You may have once thought of them as comrades, mentors, friends, even lovers. They will all be enemies now. You have been forewarned for what is to come, but not yet forearmed.
The spear. How do you have it? I threw it into the Shadowfell.
Shah is quick to discard whatever she has no use for. I think you know that well enough. But I felt it call to me as I took flight. Whatever Shah calls her own, Selûne has equal claim to. They are one and the same. Their power is matched and mirrored. Take it. You will find it useful. What you do with it, that will be up to you. Same as before.
I'll need every advantage, it seems. Thank you.
A debt repaid. You returned my life unto me. Now go and claim your own.
It hurts.
Shah torments you still. What a spiteful creature she is. This will not stop until you take action. See that your parents' sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last.
I've been lied to. My whole life. And I was gullible enough to just believe it. My parents are alive, and I have to save them. I think a part of me always knew that. A part that Shah denied to me. Indeed. But the truth may yet prove painful. Who knows what Shah still keeps from me? We'd better press on for now. and hope we're ready when the moment comes. But before that, there's one thing I need to see to. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Just leave it with me.
Thaniel rests well. He's healing very rapidly, now that Oliver has returned to him. No more than my right hand can absorb my left. Oliver is helping Thaniel to recover. They both lie dormant, like trees awaiting spring. Once the curse is lifted, they can stand as one or as a pair. Whatever they wish. I hope they will remain as a pair. It will be good for them both to have a friend, once I'm gone. Still, I would like to return here someday. See Thaniel and Oliver again. In my meditations, or perhaps in person, if the Oak Father wills it. I hope he does. I have. But perhaps there is more that I want. Anyway, once the curse is lifted, nature can take its course without me. I belong at your side. And I'm glad to be had. Glad to be with you, I mean. I can't say for certain, but we'll see it come to pass long before this place recedes behind us. Don't worry. All is at hand. We can depart whenever you're ready. I knew I could put my faith in you. If only we had met sooner.
Be honest. What do you think of the new look? Well, I'm glad someone does. Perhaps I'll get used to it. I have a lot to get used to right now.
It's like an army marched through here.
The curse has been lifted, the lands cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this at least, you have triumphed.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the flaming fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. But patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir. Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the prison bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
My prodigal bloodkin is among them.
They live?
Barely. I made mince of their ugly mind matter. And if they dare return, I will strip out their offal.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.